It's a blessing to be able to fight here. I'm ready to put on a show, look good doing it, beat him up.
It's a blessing that I can fight here. I'm prepared to look good, beat him up, and break him down. Jaron Ennis will compete this coming weekend in his hometown of Philadelphia. You know he deserves a shot at the title, but for now, business is business. You also know that his time will come. At the press conference, Terence Crawford looked unusual because he got into a fight with Jaron Ennis. Let's see, he's calling you out now. In my career, a lot of people like me, the unbeaten world champion Jaron Boots. On Saturday, July 13, at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Ennis will take on David Avanesyan. This is his first homecoming fight. Even the supermats the previous week didn't work out for him. The two will compete for the IBF welterweight title in a 12-round main event bout, with Ennis using his father's technical skills to win. At the final pre-fight news conference, Ennis, a 27-year-old native of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, who has won 31 of his 31 fights, including 28 by knockout, made his homecoming ring appearance. He promised his fans a breathtaking display. Following Cody Crowley's withdrawal from their battle, Jaron Ennis now faces David Avanesyan and his two elder brothers. Putting Pi Dungeon front and center on Saturday, the International Boxing Federation welterweight champion hopes that the result will be the same in front of loved ones in Philadelphia boots. The two-time Golden Gloves medalist was named the full-time champion after Terence Crawford lost the title only a few months after defeating Errol Spence Jr. to become undisputed at welterweight night at Wells Fargo Center. Allen took the place of Cody Crowley, who had eye surgery after returning home to New Orleans. Although he has held interim titles in the World Boxing Association, the European welterweight division, and the ABF, he has failed twice in his attempt to win a world title. After losing to Crawford for the welterweight title in the International Boxing Organization, the boxer of Russian descent bounced back in December. Everyone you know and at home was pressuring him to win, but all you had to do was trust that he would win another fight and perform well. I'm excited to fight here. It's a blessing, and I'm prepared to put on a show and look beautiful while doing it. Beat him up, break him down, get the stoppage, and have fun, Jaron Ennis remarked. I have a feeling that I'm going to flourish here and perform beautifully. I feel like I'm going to thrive here, that I'm going to have fun, and that I'm putting on a magnificent performance. I'm battling at home. I'm comfy and I have my feet up on the couch. I don't really think the opponent switch matters because we have both southpaws and orthodox in our camp. It will be turned up in here with fireworks. It will be lit up. I'm excited you are going to see a beautiful show, and I'm going to show the world and the 147 pounds division that I am the best. Talk about the switch of opponents. Fighters, boxers, we do everything. We're standing on business. I'm not going in there looking for the stoppage, but I'll have my fun, put on a show, but I'll let the knockout come to me. In December 2022, Cody Crowley, a relatively unknown fighter, made his third attempt to become world champion. He had 30 wins, 4 draws, and a loss, including 18 knockout victories. The 35-year-old Armenian contender faced Terence Crawford for the World Boxing Organization welterweight title, but was stopped in the 6th round. We don't expect this man to perform that well, though, because we know he is a true fighter. In February 2017, the former World Boxing Association interim 147-pound title holder faced Lemon Peterson in a bout where the entire belt was on the line, but he lost by unanimous decision. I think this is the reason I'm here. God has provided me with this opportunity. The switch wasn't really mean nothing to me because I fought Crawford, but that's history. People who know boxing know that I've had many big fights. This is another good fight and a great chance for me, and I will give everything. Interestingly, it was the same. David Avanesyan stated that he knows he's a good fighter, but that's happy that he is. That's why I am here. Terence Crawford, who stole the show after he appeared at the press conference immediately after it was over and ran into Jaron Ennis, we have S-Paw. And orthodox and camp pressure, fighters, boxers, we do everything. We have every type of opponent. You know or well that can resemble an opponent. 'Cause while there were enough people to separate them, they couldn't stop the war of words as both fighters kept throwing verbal punches at each other before Terence Crawford made his way out. The feud between Terence Crawford and Jaron Ennis began when Terence Crawford was about fighting Errol Spence, although Terence Crawford being the winner of the undisputed welterweight title fight against Errol Spence Jr. undoubtedly became the top dog at 147 mops. And he was expected to overcome another challenge to his supremacy from Jaron Boots Ennis. Always said a boot was a great talent. I always told everybody that I supported him. I being support. On the other hand, Ennis retained his International Boxing Federation interim world title in extremely impressive fashion against Romy Villa, becoming the first man to stop the game Colombian at Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. Following the victory, when asked by Fight Hype about the possibility of a future showdown with Boots, Ennis made no secret of the fact that he wanted the winner of Spence versus Crawford to come next, and he confirmed he would be in Las Vegas on July 29th to support him since he was in the amateurs when he was fighting Gary Russell. Crawford was full of praise for the 26-year-old and assured him his time will come. I always said that Boots is a great talent, and I've always told everybody that I support him. I've been supporting him since he was in the amateurs, and he was fighting Gary Russell. I always supported him because they said he reminded them so much of me, because they always said he reminded them so much of me, but seeing him, I kind of see myself in him. And yes, he deserves, but seeing him, I see myself in him. And yes, he deserves a title shot, and he deserves it. All his time will come. But right now, business is business, and when Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. fought, Terence Crawford made history, becoming the first unified welterweight champion in the history of the four major belt era, with a ninth-round technical knockout win over Errol Spence Jr. last year. Sir Crawford added Spence's World Boxing Association, World Boxing Council, and International Boxing Federation titles to his own World Boxing Organization, Crown. This was the most impressive of them all, though, as Crawford put on a boxing masterclass to virtually dominate the fight from the moment he dropped Spence in the second round. Will it be a role that was unfamiliar for Spence, who had not previously been dropped once in his accomplished career, to the end when he had gone down 3 times. The knockout victory marked Crawford's 11th consecutive finish, with 9 of them now occurring in the 6th round or later. A tale akin to Devin "The Dream" Haney's, who was dropped 3 times before suffering his first career loss in the junior period. Or will it be Terence "Bud" Crawford by the end of the bout? Crawford had landed 42% of his jabs and 60% of his power blows, which was the most of any opponent he had faced. Spence gave him back. The battle began with Spence controlling the terms and applying pressure early on, while Crawford deftly and strategically waited for his opportunity to counter, which he did late in the opening frame. Neither boxer had any significant moments during the bout. Spence overreached on one occasion, and Crawford was quick to counter with a strong left hand. It was just a glimpse of the kind of chess match that was expected in the early rounds, with Crawford known as more of an intentional slow starter, and Spence likelier to try to set the pace him. That's a dude I need to fight. Maybe after the rematch, Spence was able to do just that some more in the second, with a combination of his movement, consistent jab, and relentless pressure causing problems. But a straight left power jab from Crawford saw Spence suddenly drop for the first time in his career in the final moments of the second round. Always said a boot was a great talent. All told, Crawford's power